It is a quiet evening. I sit alone in my room with a notebook and a dream. I want to speak English. I want to speak it well. But I don't want to worry about grammar rules. I don't want to memorize verb tenses. I have no teacher to correct my mistakes. Still, I believe I can do it, at home, by myself. Every day, I tell myself one thing. I will not let grammar stop me. I don't need perfect sentences. My grammar may not be textbook perfect. My structure may not be formal. But I have the desire to communicate. I have the courage to try. That is enough to begin. I look around my room. My notebook is empty. But my heart is full of questions, full of hope. Can I really speak English without studying grammar? Can I really communicate fluently by focusing on words and phrases instead of rules? And then I hear a small voice inside me. It says, "Yes, you can." If you feel the same, this video is for you. Stay with me. I will show you everything step by step. Let me tell you the truth. You don't need grammar books to communicate well. You don't need complex rules or verb charts. You just need words, phrases, and the confidence to use them. You can do it right from your bedroom. This is your space. This is your time. You are not alone. I am with you. Let's begin. Chapter 1. My first day speaking without grammar rules. It is a new morning. The sun is shining, but my heart feels heavy. I want to speak English. I want people to understand me. But I don't want to think about grammar. There are too many rules, too many exceptions. I am at home, I am alone, and I am confused by all. The grammar I tried to learn. I look around my room. It is silent. I sit on my bed and ask myself, can I really speak English without perfect grammar? My mind says, people will judge you. But my heart says, try. So I begin. I look at the table. I say, this table. I look at the chair. I say, nice chair. I look at the window. Big window. These are not perfect sentences, but they communicate meaning. Saying them feels natural. I speak slowly. I feel free. I continue. I walk to the kitchen. I see a cup. I say, hot coffee. I see a spoon. Small spoon. I see a plate. Clean plate. I use simple phrases. 2 words, 3 words. No complex grammar. But I communicate what I see. I give meaning to the world around me. Then I stand in front of the mirror. I look at my own face. I smile, and I say, hello there. I laugh a little. It feels good. I ask myself, you okay? I answer, yes, good. I say, nice day today. I answer, very nice. This is my first English conversation without grammar stress, and I have it with myself. I sit down again. I open my notebook. I write some useful phrases. How much? Very good. Where is? Thank you. No problem. Then I speak them out loud. I say them again and again. My sentences are not perfect, but they work. They communicate. And that matters. Even if no one hears me, I practice real communication. At first, I worry about mistakes. Sometimes I use wrong word order. Sometimes I miss articles or verbs, but I don't stop. I keep going. Because I know that communication is more important than perfection. When you speak English without grammar fear, you feel free at first. You feel natural. You feel confident. Every phrase you say is a small win. Every meaningful exchange is a step forward. I talk to myself when I brush my teeth. I say, brush teeth now. When I make tea, I say, hot water, tea bag, sugar, please. I turn my life into simple English phrases. It becomes a part of my day. The best thing is this: I can focus on meaning. I can focus on communication. No one corrects my grammar. No one judges my structure. I feel safe. I feel free. I feel like I am building real language skills. Real communication does not start with perfect grammar. It does not begin with complex rules. It begins in your room. It begins when you focus on meaning, even when your grammar is simple. It begins when you use your voice to communicate ideas, even when the structure is not perfect. That day, I do not learn grammar rules. I do not study verb tenses. But I learn something more powerful. I learn to communicate without fear. And that is the first secret of speaking English without grammar stress. You begin with meaning, even when you are unsure. You communicate, even when your grammar is simple. And slowly, your fear becomes your strength. This is how my grammar-free English journey started. One phrase, one meaning, one mirror, one voice, mine. And that voice will grow more confident every day. Chapter 2. Learning phrases like building blocks. The next day, I wake up with a new idea in my mind. I ask myself, how do children learn to communicate? They don't learn grammar first. They don't study sentence structure. They learn phrases, complete chunks of meaning. I want water. Where is Mama? Thank you. More, please. So, I decide to do the same. I will learn English like a child. I will collect phrases. I will collect chunks of meaning. I don't need to understand the grammar inside them. I just need to use them. I take my phone. I search for common English phrases for daily life. I find lists of useful expressions. How are you? Not bad. See you later. Have a good day. No worries. These are complete thoughts, ready to use. I don't need to build them from grammar rules. I just need to remember them and practice them. I choose 10 phrases for today. I write them in my notebook. Then I walk around my room, saying each phrase out loud. I repeat them like songs. I feel their rhythm. I feel their natural flow. Excuse me? You're welcome. I don't know. What do you think? Sounds good. After that, I go to YouTube. I search for English conversation phrases. I find videos where people use these phrases in real situations. One person says, "How's it going?" The other says, "Pretty good, thanks." I know these phrases now. I pause the video. I repeat the whole exchange. I say it again and again. I learn a new way to think about English. I don't think in grammar rules. I think in phrase blocks, complete pieces of meaning that I can use anywhere. I make a small plan for my day. When I practice speaking, I use these phrase blocks. I don't worry about perfect grammar. I focus on clear communication. Good morning. Coffee, please. How much? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. This is a complete conversation at a cafe. No complex grammar needed, just useful phrases put together. When I talk to myself, I use phrase combinations. I think so. Maybe later. Sounds like fun. I'm not sure. Let me see. These phrases work in many situations. I don't translate them from my language. I don't build them with grammar rules. I just use them as complete blocks. Later, I go for a walk. I practice phrase combinations in my head. Excuse me, where is the bank? Thank you so much. You're very kind. Sometimes I don't remember a phrase perfectly. I don't stop. I don't feel bad. I know that every time I use a phrase, it becomes stronger in my memory. At night, before I sleep, I review my 10 phrases. I say them slowly. I imagine using them in real conversations. My brain remembers them as complete units of meaning. This is how I learn English now. I collect phrases every day. I don't study grammar. I don't memorize rules. I just learn complete expressions that work. Like a child. I learn thank you as one block. I learn how are you as one piece. I learn see you tomorrow as one complete thought. And slowly, something starts to happen. I start to think in English phrases. I start to hear complete expressions in my mind, even when I am not studying. English becomes a collection of useful building blocks. If you want to speak English without grammar stress, start collecting phrases. If you want to communicate clearly, learn complete expressions. Phrases are not about rules. They are about meaning. Your memory loves complete chunks. Use it. Trust it. Build with it. Chapter 3. Copying Natural Speech Patterns. It is a rainy afternoon. I sit near the window with my headphones on. I feel curious. I feel ready to try something new. I remember reading about copying, not copying grammar rules, not copying textbook examples, but copying how real people actually speak English. I open YouTube and search for natural English conversations. I want to hear how people really talk. Not in lessons, not in courses, but in real life. I find a video of two friends talking about their weekend. They don't speak like textbooks. They use simple words. They use easy phrases. But they sound natural. They sound real. So, how was your weekend? Oh, pretty good. Just relaxed at home. Nice. I went to the park. Cool. Was it busy? I listened to this conversation 3 times. I don't focus on grammar. I focus on the rhythm, the flow, the natural way they connect their words. Then I try something new. I copy their exact way of speaking. Not just the words, but the melody, the pace, the feeling. I pause after the first person speaks. I repeat exactly. So, how was your weekend? I try to match their tone, their speed, their natural rhythm. Then the second person. Oh, pretty good. Just relaxed at home. I copy this too. The relaxed feeling. The casual tone. This is different from studying grammar. This is copying life. This is learning how English really sounds when people communicate naturally. I feel excited. This feels real. This feels alive. Next, I find a short video of someone ordering food. Hi, can I get a coffee? Sure, what size? Medium, please. Anything else? That's it. Thanks. Again, I copy everything. Not just words, but the friendly tone, the quick pace, the natural pauses. I repeat each line until it feels comfortable in my mouth. I start to notice something amazing. When I copy natural speech, I learn more than just words. I learn how to sound friendly, how to sound polite, how to sound confident. These things are not in grammar books, but they are everywhere in real conversations. I make this my daily practice. Every day, I find one. Short conversation. I listen carefully. I copy completely. I don't worry if my grammar is perfect. I focus on sounding natural. Sometimes I find conversations about shopping. How much is this? $20. Can I pay with card? Of course. Sometimes about the weather. Beautiful day today. Yeah, really nice. Perfect for a walk. Absolutely. Each conversation teaches me new patterns, new ways to connect ideas, new ways to express feelings, all without studying grammar rules. I also practice these patterns when I talk to myself. I use the same natural rhythm I learned from copying. So, what's the plan today? Well, first I'll have breakfast. Sounds good. My voice starts to change. It becomes more natural, more confident, more English-like. Not because my grammar improved, but because I learned to copy natural patterns. Reading also helps me with copying. When I read dialogue in simple stories, I read it out loud. I try to imagine how real people would say these words. I copy the natural flow. After 1 week, I feel different when I speak. My phrases come out smoother. My conversations feel more real. I don't pause to think about grammar. I just speak in the patterns I copied. And now, copying is part of my day. In the morning, I copy one short conversation. In the evening, I copy another. Sometimes I copy the same conversation many times. It helps me feel the natural rhythm. If you want to speak English without grammar stress, start copying real conversations. Start with short exchanges. Choose something simple, something natural. Don't worry about understanding every grammar rule. Don't worry about perfect structure. Just copy. Copy the rhythm. Copy the feeling. Copy the natural flow. Make copying a habit. Copy every day, even for 10 minutes. Copy with your heart. Copy with your voice. Copy with your whole body. And one day, without studying grammar rules, you will find that you can speak more naturally, sound more confident, and communicate more clearly. Copying is not about perfection, it is about connection. A real connection to how English actually sounds in the world. Chapter 4. Building Confidence Through Useful Vocabulary. It is evening. I sit alone in my room looking at my notebook. It has many grammar rules I tried to learn before. Verb tenses, sentence structures, complex explanations. But today, I close that section. I open a new page. I write at the top, words that work. I realize something important. I don't need to know every grammar rule to communicate well, but I do need useful words. Words that help me express my ideas. Words that people use every day. I feel excited. This is different. This is practical. This is real. I start with basic needs. I write down words for food. Hungry, thirsty, breakfast, lunch, dinner, delicious, spicy, sweet. I don't write their grammar rules. I don't study how to use them in complex sentences. I just learn them as tools for communication. Then I practice using these words in simple ways. I'm hungry. Very delicious. Breakfast ready? Too spicy. More, please. No complex grammar. Just useful words in simple patterns. Next, I write words for feelings. Happy, tired, excited, worried, surprised, confused, comfortable, nervous. Again, I practice with simple expressions. So tired. Very happy. A bit worried. Really excited. These are not perfect sentences according to grammar books, but they communicate my feelings clearly. That's what matters. I make a plan. Every day, I will learn 5 new useful words. Not difficult academic words, not fancy vocabulary, just practical words that help me in daily life. Words for weather: sunny, cloudy, rainy, hot, cold, warm, windy, beautiful. Words for time: morning, afternoon, evening, early, late, soon, later, quickly. Words for places: home, work, school, shop, park, street, building, room. I practice these words by talking about my day. Sunny morning, left home early, quick breakfast, walked to shop, beautiful park, back home later. My grammar is simple, but my meaning is clear. I can tell a story. I can share information. Can communicate. I also learn words by grouping them by situation. For shopping: price, expensive, cheap, discount, receipt, cash, card, change. For meeting people: nice, friendly, interesting, funny, kind, helpful, smart, cool. When I practice, I don't worry about perfect grammar. I focus on using these words to express real ideas. Nice person, very friendly, really helpful, pretty expensive, good discount. I start to notice something wonderful. When I have useful words, I can communicate even without perfect grammar. People understand me. I understand them. Conversation happens. I also use pictures to learn words. I look at a photo and describe it with my useful vocabulary. Big house, green trees, blue sky, happy family, small dog. Simple words, clear meaning, no grammar stress. Sometimes I play word games with myself. I look around my room and name everything I can see. But I don't just say the word. I add a simple description: comfortable bed, bright lamp, clean window, favorite book. This builds my vocabulary and my confidence at the same time. I also collect useful phrases that go with my new words. How much does it cost? What time is it? Where can I find? This looks good. I would like. These phrases help me use my vocabulary in real communication situations. After practicing vocabulary this way for a few weeks, I feel different. I feel more confident when I speak. I have words for my ideas. I can express what I want to say. Not with perfect grammar, but with clear meaning. Useful vocabulary is your foundation. Grammar rules come and go, but good vocabulary stays with you. It helps you communicate in any situation. So don't spend all your time on grammar. Spend time building your collection of useful words. Words for daily life. Words for your interests. Words for your needs. Chapter 5. Practicing Real Conversations. Without grammar, fear it is a sunny afternoon. I sit near the window, feeling brave. Today I want to try something different. I want to practice real conversations, but not perfect conversations. Not grammar correct conversations. Just real, natural communication. The kind people actually have every day. I feel nervous. I feel excited. But I know this is important. Speaking English is not about passing grammar tests. It's about connecting with people. I start by practicing common daily situations. I imagine I'm at a coffee shop. I play both roles, the customer and the server. Hi there. Hi, how can I help you? Coffee, please. What size? Medium is good. Anything else? No, that's perfect. Here you go. Thank you so much. This conversation has simple grammar, short phrases, basic words, but it works completely. It gets the job done. It's friendly and clear. I practice this conversation several times. I don't worry about using "I would like to have" instead of just "coffee, please." I don't stress about perfect verb forms. I focus on communication that works. Next, I try a conversation about asking for directions. Excuse me. Yes? Where is the bank? Go straight, then turn left. How far? About 5 minutes. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Again, simple English, clear communication, no complex grammar needed. But the conversation is complete and helpful. I practice different emotions and tones. Sometimes I sound curious. Really? That's interesting. Sometimes confused. Sorry, I don't understand. Sometimes grateful. That's very helpful. Thank you. These emotional expressions don't need perfect grammar. They need genuine, feeling and clear words. I also practice common social exchanges. Meeting someone new. Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm John. Nice to meet you, too. How are you today? Pretty good, thanks. You? Great, thanks. This is how people really talk. Natural, relaxed, simple, effective. When I make mistakes in my practice, I don't stop to correct grammar. I just continue the conversation. In real life, small grammar mistakes don't stop communication. People understand anyway. I practice phone conversations too. Hello? Hi, is this Maria? Yes, speaking. This is Tom from the school. Oh, hi, Tom. Can we meet tomorrow? Sure. What time? How about 3 p.m.? Perfect. See you then. Short phrases. Clear meaning. Real communication. That's what matters. I also practice disagreeing politely. I don't think so. Maybe not. I'm not sure about that. And agreeing, absolutely. That's right. Good point. These expressions help me participate in conversations naturally, without worrying about complex grammar structures. Sometimes I practice emotional conversations, apologizing. Sorry about that. No problem. Thanking. I really appreciate it. Happy to help. Complimenting. That looks great. Thank you. That's very kind. All of these feel natural when I focus on the feeling instead of the grammar rules. I start to understand something important. Real conversations are mostly about connection, not perfection. People want to understand and be understood. They don't expect textbook English. When I practice this way every day, my confidence grows. I stop being afraid of making grammar mistakes. I start focusing on communicating my ideas clearly. I practice conversations about my interests. I love reading. What kind of books? Mystery stories mostly. Oh, I like those too. Any recommendations? Sure, try this author. Simple exchanges about real topics. This is how friendships begin, how connections happen, how life unfolds in English. The more I practice real conversations, the more natural English feels. Not as a subject to study, but as a tool to use. A way to connect with people and share experiences. Real conversation practice teaches you what grammar books cannot: how to be human in another language. Chapter 6. Using context. Instead of grammar rules, it is night. I am thinking about something that happened today. I was watching a simple English video, and I heard someone say, "I've been there before." My grammar brain said, "That's wrong. It should be, I have been there before." But then I realized something important. I understood the meaning perfectly. The communication worked. This makes me think. Maybe perfect grammar is not as important as I thought. Maybe understanding and being understood matters more than following every rule. I'd decide to try something new. I will focus on context, the situation, the meaning, the feeling, instead of worrying about perfect grammar. I start with simple examples. If someone says, "Me hungry?" I know exactly what they mean. Even though the grammar is simple. Message is clear. In the right context, simple grammar works perfectly. I practice this myself. Instead of saying, "I would like to inform you that I am experiencing feelings of tiredness," I just say, "I'm tired." Simple, clear, effective. Context helps me understand so much. If I'm at a restaurant and someone says, "Check, please," I know they want to pay. I don't need perfect grammar to understand or to be understood. I start paying attention to how context makes communication work. If I point at something and say, "How much?" everyone knows I'm asking about the price. The situation gives meaning to my simple words. When I'm at a bus stop and someone says, "Number 42, I understand they're asking if this is where the number 42 bus comes. Context makes simple words powerful. I practice using context in my daily self-talk. When I cook, I say, "Salt, please," to myself, imagining I'm asking someone to pass the salt. When I open a window, I say, "Fresh air, nice." The situation makes my simple English meaningful. I also notice how body language and gestures work with simple English. A smile with "thank you" says more than perfect grammar with a cold face. A friendly wave with "see you later" creates connection, better than formal structure. Context helps with listening, too. If I don't catch every word in a conversation, I can understand from the situation. At a shop, if I hear 15, I know they're probably talking about the price, even if I miss other words. I start building my confidence around context-based communication. When I talk to myself, I create little scenarios. I imagine I'm lost and need directions. "Excuse me, train station?" Simple words, but with gestures and context, the meaning is clear. I practice ordering food. "Chicken, rice, please," Not perfect grammar, but in a restaurant context, everyone understands. I'm asking for chicken and rice. I also use context for expressing feelings. Instead of complex sentences, I use simple expressions that fit the situation. Happy birthday. Congratulations. Good luck. Take care. These phrases work in specific contexts. I don't need to build them with grammar rules. I just need to know when to use them. I realize that most daily communication relies more on context than on perfect grammar. People fill in the gaps with understanding. They use the situation to complete the meaning. When children learn language, they use context constantly. They point and say one word, water, and parents understand, I want water. Context makes simple communication work. I start feeling more relaxed about my English. I focus on being clear rather than being perfect. I use the situation to help my communication. I trust that people will understand my meaning, even if my grammar is simple. Context is everywhere. The place where you are, the time of day, what you're doing, who you're with, the expression on your face. All of these help your English work better than grammar rules alone. When you combine simple English with clear context, you can communicate almost anything. You don't need to wait until your grammar is perfect. You can start connecting with people right now. Context is your friend. Use it. Trust it. Let it help your simple English become powerful communication. Chapter 7. Building English Habits. Without grammar study. It is early morning. I am still in bed and the house is quiet. I pick up my phone and listen to a short English conversation. Not to study grammar, not to analyze structure, just to hear natural English sounds. Then I repeat a few simple phrases out loud. Good morning. Beautiful day. Time for coffee. These are not perfect sentences, but they start my day with English rhythm. This is my morning habit now. I do it every day. It only takes 5 minutes, but it fills my mind with English sounds and patterns. No grammar books needed. I have learned something important. If you want to improve your English, you don't need to study grammar for hours. You don't need to memorize rules. You just need English habits. Small, daily habits focused on communication, not rules. If you repeat communication practice every day, it becomes part of you. You don't have to think about grammar. You just express your ideas naturally, like brushing your teeth, like eating your meals. Now, I do the same with English communication. After I brush my teeth, I describe my morning in simple English. I stand in front of the mirror and say, "Good morning, nice sleep, ready for today, coffee time soon." These are simple phrases, but they wake up my English brain. They make me ready to think and express ideas in English. No grammar stress needed. When I cook breakfast, I talk about what I'm doing. Boil water, add coffee, toast bread, butter on top. Simple present tense, but clear communication about my actions. I don't worry about saying, "I am boiling water," or "I will add coffee." Simple, direct phrases work perfectly for describing my life. In the afternoon, I take a short walk. While walking, I practice expressing my observations. Blue sky, warm sun, happy dog, busy street. Short phrases, clear images, natural communication. These thoughts are simple but effective. They help me practice expressing ideas in English every day without grammar books or complex rules. I also made a fun habit in the evening. After dinner, I watch a short English video. Sometimes it's about cooking, sometimes about travel, sometimes just people talking. I don't analyze grammar. I just enjoy understanding and occasionally repeat phrases that sound natural. Looks delicious. Very interesting. I like that. I keep a small notebook for useful phrases, not grammar rules. Every day I write 1 or 2 expressions I heard. No problem. Sounds good. Maybe later. Let me think. I don't study these phrases. I just write them, read them, and use them when they fit naturally into my self-talk. I also practice describing my feelings without worrying about perfect grammar. Feeling good today. A bit tired now. Really happy about this. Not sure about that. Simple expressions that communicate my emotional state clearly, even without complex grammatical structures. On weekends, I review my week using simple English. Good week. Learned new things. Watched nice videos. Feeling proud. I speak slowly, but I speak with confidence about my experiences. Sometimes I don't feel like practicing. I feel tired. I feel lazy. But my habits remind me. They say, just say a few phrases, just 5 minutes of English sounds. And when I do it, I feel better. I feel connected to English again. Habits help you grow, even when you feel weak. They keep English alive in your mind, even on difficult days. Don't try to learn all grammar rules in one day. Don't force yourself to study complex structures for hours. Make simple communication habits. Talk to yourself for 5 minutes in the morning. Listen to natural English in the evening. Describe your day with simple phrases. Express your feelings with basic words. Start with one habit. Then add another. Slowly, your life will change. English will not be a school subject. It will be your daily companion. When English communication becomes your daily habit, it becomes your second nature. You don't study it anymore. You live it. You don't need more grammar knowledge. You need more communication practice. 5 minutes a day is better than 1 hour of grammar study once a week. So make English communication your habit. Make it your morning friend. Make it your evening practice. Let it grow with you, day by day. Chapter 8. Communicating confidently without perfect grammar. It is late at night. The lights are off. I lie in bed, thinking about my day. I smile. I used English to express many ideas today. I described my breakfast, talked about the weather, shared my feelings, made plans for tomorrow. Was my grammar perfect? No. Did I communicate clearly? Yes. I remember a time when I was afraid to speak English because I worried about grammar mistakes. I thought people would judge me. I thought I needed to be perfect before I could communicate. But now, I know the Egypt truth. Communication is about connection, not perfection. In the last few weeks, I have made real progress. My confidence is stronger. My expressions are clearer. I understand more when I listen. I worry less when I speak. And I did all this without grammar textbooks, without complex rules, without perfect structures. How? By focusing on meaning instead of rules. By practicing communication instead of memorizing grammar. By building confidence instead of fear. Some days were challenging. I felt unsure about my word choices. I worried about making mistakes. I felt slow sometimes. But I never stopped communicating. I told myself, just express the idea. Don't worry about perfect grammar. I did it. And slowly, those moments of simple communication became powerful habits. At home, you are both the student and the teacher. You decide what to practice. You decide how to communicate. You decide when to speak. This gives you freedom. This gives you control. I keep focusing on useful phrases and expressions. I listen to natural conversations. I copy the rhythm and flow of real English. I trust my ability to communicate meaning, even without perfect grammar. Sometimes I record myself speaking about simple topics, not to check grammar, but to hear my confidence growing, to hear my communication becoming more natural and fluent. I still use simple English patterns. I still focus on clear meaning. I still practice daily communication. I still think in English phrases when I cook, walk, or rest. Every simple expression becomes communication practice. And the best part is, I don't need anyone to correct my grammar. I don't need to pass a test. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to communicate. That's how language works. It grows through use, not through rules. I now understand that learning English is not about grammatical perfection. It's about communicative confidence, a slow, beautiful journey, full of expression, full of connection, full of small victories. If you are learning English at home, don't worry about perfect grammar. Don't worry about making structural mistakes. Just keep communicating. Express a little. Listen a little. Speak a little. Think a little. Do it every day. Focus on meaning. Trust. Your communication journey. Your home is your practice space. Your voice is your tool. Your ideas are your content. Your confidence is your strength. You are not alone. I was there too. I started with grammar fear. I started with silence. But I took the first step toward communication, then the second, then the third, and slowly I found my voice. And you will too. So, keep expressing, keep communicating, keep listening, keep speaking, keep thinking. Let English grow with you, day by day, phrase by phrase. You don't need to wait for perfect grammar. This moment is already perfect for communication. Just begin. Just continue. Just believe. If this video helped you, please like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to this channel for more practical English lessons. And now, I have a question for you. What is the one English communication habit you will start from today? Comment below. Let's learn together.